Am I the butthole for telling my roommate her aspirations of being an influencer are effing pathetic? TL. Doctor. Roommate works a minimum of 50 hours a week and can barely support him and his girlfriend. She wants to be an influencer and isn't bringing home any income. After witnessing the boyfriend have a mental breakdown from being overworked, I told the girlfriend that her aspirations were effing pathetic. I've lived with the couple for a little over a year and a half. I'm in my early 20s, they're in their early 30s. The boyfriend works 2 minimum wage jobs, at least 50 hours a week in order to provide for the two of them, as the girlfriend is striving to be an influencer and doesn't have a job. She spends most of her time taking pictures to post on Instagram and DMing brands trying to get sponsorships. So far, no income has come from this. Last week, the boyfriend had a complete breakdown, while the girlfriend wasn't home, and tells me he's exhausted from being extremely overworked. He's straight up sobbing, saying that even though he's working back-to-back shifts, he still isn't making enough money to support the both of them and, which I didn't know about till now, her frivolous spending. He even had to ask his parents to help with this month's rent. I felt really bad for the guy. Skip forward to last night and I'm sitting chatting with the girlfriend and the topic of money came up. She started to complain that they weren't making enough money for her to do the things she wanted. I politely asked her if getting a job and doing the Instagram thing on the side was an option, and she immediately got defensive. She told me that of course that isn't an option and that she shouldn't have to put her dreams on hold. Confused, I asked her what those dreams are. She said to inspire people. And then I said, which I probably shouldn't have, to do nothing? She got really offended and said that there's so much that goes into it that I could never understand. I mean, the girl takes pictures of lattes and her in yoga poses. She doesn't even edit them, just uses the default filters on the app. I didn't want to argue about the logistics of influencing, so I instead brought up my concern for her boyfriend and told her that I think he may be overworking himself, he's not happy, and he needs her help to support them financially. She says, well, I don't understand why we both have to be unhappy. At least one of us is pursuing our aspirations. To that, I said, well, if your aspirations are to do nothing while your partner busts their ass to support you, then your aspirations are effing pathetic. Later that evening I get a text from the boyfriend saying what I said crossed a line, and now because of me, she thinks that he believes she does nothing and her dreams are pathetic. I feel bad, but holy crap, I couldn't just sit by and bite my tongue. Am I the butthole? NTA, he might not realize it yet, but you were a good friend to him. Hopefully, he'll soon realize that she's using him. NTA, her boyfriend is beyond exhausted, works long hours, and she pretty much spends the bulk, if not all of his money. No wonder he had a mental breakdown. Some things should be noted about influencers though. For one, you have to put in the hard work. You can't just do minimal and expect to make it. And two, the public perception matters. Finding out that she is living off the back of her boyfriend, working him half to death, making him miserable and spending his money like crazy, isn't going to go down well with the general public. This poor fella is much better off leaving her, as she is causing him nothing but grief. Besides, with his work ethic he has a higher chance of making it as an influencer than her. So I actually got to work as a software development intern, paid, for a digital marketing firm whose main money-making platform involved social media marketing with influencers. I learned a lot and quickly realized actual influencers are more like content creators than just photogenic people sitting around with products. Influencers, the legit ones, will typically be making production-grade media content, whether that's comedic videos on YouTube, recipes on their own website, how to DIY instructions on Instagram, the list goes on. Even the gym bros/brodettes will be working hard in the gym and producing their own brand of fitness books and gear. It's so much more than taking filtered Insta pics. Basically, influencers are really self-employed marketing and sales field agents. They have to be making things that garner them a large following, then they get sponsors like my former digital marketing company afterwards. She doesn't make anything marketable that people want. Until she starts making things that are popular, she's just a self-absorbed schmuck with a camera. Thanks for the reply. Yes, she sure is. Honestly, I've been watching influencers for a very long, and the successful ones put in a lot of hard work to get where they are. It's not just a case of uploading pictures on Instagram and hoping you'd make it. If she were to say get a brand deal and get popular enough, the internet will find out one way or another what she's done to her boyfriend. And if the scandal is big enough, brands will just stop working with her either way. Honestly, I've been watching influencers for a very long, and the successful ones put in a lot of hard work to get where they are. It's not just a case of uploading pictures on Instagram and hoping you'd make it. Additionally, nearly all of the really successful, authentic ones seem to have done it on the side of their main job until they have become established. This actually makes me respect them more. They hold down jobs to support themselves and put in the extra effort in order to follow their dreams until they can support themselves through that. It's aspirational and savvy in itself. Being a leech is not. Also, they usually, at least that's how it feels, didn't set out to be an influencer but to make content to share. They became influencers by having good content that gathered a bit of a crowd. I like what r/ says in a bunch of his videos, mostly choosing beggar ones. If you're actually an influencer, you can afford to pay for stuff, so if you're begging, you're probably not having a large enough following to influence anyone. And you know it shows, if you are leeching off someone else or if you've built your own content. Take YouTube for example, which I'll use as it is the platform I am generally on. YouTube has had its fair share of drama, one big one being around 2019 with Deji and KSI. Well, between the brothers, KSI was generally always the one who came up with the content and ideas, whilst helping out his brother as such. Deji a lot of the time would either copy whatever his brother was doing or copy someone else. He was a trend hopper. Well, when they had a huge failing out and Deji attacked KSI, by the end of it he was stuck at 9.7 meters for like 7 months, I think. It's because, for one, a lot of people subscribed to him because of his brother, and two, he rarely came up with original content. He never grew. He is at 10+ m now, but that's only because his brother told his subscribers to get him to 10 meters. Right now, his count is hardly rising in comparison. He didn't really build his own audience, his brother did. Plus he got himself in scandal after scandal, which has made him stuck in one place since. Even before he started doing more social media focused things, KSI was a big FIFA YouTuber. By the time he got on that influencer life, he already had a following that enjoyed his personality and vibe. So true. I used to follow a beauty influencer on it before influencer was such a known thing. I enjoyed scrolling back to her initial videos. They were genuine, you could see how brands saw the appeal in her, she became bigger, etc. Those initial videos were not heavily edited, no ring light, etc. It was very clear her initial intent was not necessarily to be an influencer but to teach people makeup techniques. That has long since stopped, as is the case for many beauty influencers, but seeing her growth in the initial years was interesting and, dare I say, inspiring or influential. And I have even more respect for the people who keep their real jobs, because they seem a lot more level-headed about their career path. Like Christine from Simply Nailogical makes way more money from YouTube and her nail polish line than she does from her actual job, but she keeps it anyway because she enjoys it and knows that YouTube fame isn't forever. She was the first person I thought of when you said that. I love her and her content. I wonder what her co-workers at her government job think of her now that she has a successful brand under her belt, but she still keeps on doing her day job that she loves. She's talked about it a bit on her podcast, and she's even had her boss on her YouTube show. Her boss seemed very confused but entertained. I'm about to place my first order from Holo Taco and I'm really excited. Also, it's pretty obvious she works hard at creating great content, making a good product, and marketing TF out of it, because 3 people I know who aren't into following influencers/beauty gurus at all recommended her polishes to me at the beginning of quarantine and raved over how high quality they are. I have ordered a couple of times, the unicorn skin over the white? Chef's kiss, but I'm waiting for that royal blue creme polish to restock before I get more. The international shipping cost is crazy, so I need to order 2 to 3 things at once to justify it. All of this is true. I know a couple influencers in real life and most of their day is spent running analytics, negotiating contracts, and producing content that will make people buy a product. Many have degrees or worked other jobs before getting enough of a following. Same. All of my influencer friends, 5K 100K followers, either have had or still have full-time jobs to support them and their families. They only go full-time after running the numbers to ensure financial solvency. TBH, I've never ever heard of someone becoming an influencer without producing some level of decently curated and executed content. Influencers. The leech style of influencer only works if you're a celebrity, i.e., if you bring instant big, slavish followers to the table and the power of your own brand, i.e., your name. In other words, you have something the sponsors want already. That can be celebrity a la JLo or the Kardashians, or celebrity a la the hottest e-girl/anime/cosplay celeb, but it does hinge on you being able to sell your notoriety and following in lieu of talent for Joe Schmo. You're better off mining your talent to find the audience, than you are hoping for fickle celebrity to find you. It's also a tiny subset of influencing, most of which is not aspirational in the yachts in the Caribbean style, but more food, DIY, parenting and so on. It's a pity it's the one that's grabbed so many teens etc. I mean, I can't blame them looking at their parents and friends being worked to death in multiple jobs and thinking but I can make millions easily like this, but in selling aspirations so well, they've made it look easy, which it darn well isn't. Sitting around a flat posing with fake stuff is a 1 in a million chance, whereas making solid content people like W.L. still a slim chance but better. I have no love of celebrities etc. who are literally famous for their face, or bum, but I'm just going to say that even celebrity takes hard work and grift. Sure, many of us would love the challenges of being famously pretty, but while people like Clan K look like they float around, there is distinct behind-the-scenes work put in to keep their airheaded prominence. It's not really fair to say celebrity is easy or talentless. Just kind of vacuous. Being a leech might be enough to push you into the spotlight, but it is not enough to guarantee longevity. Additionally, nearly all of the really successful authentic ones seem to have done it on the side of their main job until they have become established. Same with any self-employed person. No sensible person just decides to go full-time self-employed when they don't have a penny to their name. You start out doing it as a side gig and slowly reduce your hours in conventional employment as you make more money. That is especially the case with something like being an influencer where there is so much competition. This woman is also in her 30s, which is already quite old to be getting into this field. There obviously are older influencers, but many of them started out in their 20s. I have blogger/vlogger friends that are older and they say you definitely can make money from Instagram at that age, but the reality is that a lot of companies are mainly interested in teens and 20-somethings. Normally I hate the "I wish I could award this" comments, but man, I wish I could award you right now. You are spot on here. People seem to think influencers can do whatever they want, whenever they want without actually having to work. It's simply untrue. They have a job, which is their career, unlike this woman who thinks posting some pictures of herself will actually get her anywhere while also exploiting her poor boyfriend. Yeah, this is straight up theft. He has every right to break down after this. His money stolen by some idiot who thinks that posting Insta pics will get her famous. Boyfriend needs to grow a pair and get rid. This. I feel bad for him, but at the same time, he's allowing himself to be used. Plenty of times it's the examples we bring from home. A prominent woman in his bubble could be the same way as his girlfriend is, so he might think it's normal. NTA, she says she wants to inspire people, yet she is willing to hurt the people she loves to achieve her dreams. Not someone I would want to aspire to be. Keep your lattes and yoga poses. Also, what exactly is so inspirational about coffee pics and a chick in tight pants? I can get that anywhere on the internet. Man, this is one of the few times I wish we had a justified butthole option. You may have crossed a line, but I'm hard-pressed to give you any crap for it. Although you may have to reconcile a bit with your friend, but I'm going to say NTA. Edit, wording. Instead of justified butthole, we need hard truth or tough love, cause I don't even remotely think original post was a butthole. I don't see how any decent person can watch a dude have a mental breakdown from overworking and then hear his girlfriend say that crap. I don't understand why we both have to be unhappy, bro. F this chick. Being rude isn't being a butthole. It's being rude. Not telling people off is actually being the asshole, in my opinion. Not defending people in abusive relationships is what makes you the butthole. Upsetting people isn't assholish. Upsetting them for selfish reasons is. There is no need for that. Sometimes what a person is doing genuinely is effing pathetic, and you are no kind of butthole for saying so. Justified butthole falls under not the butthole as per the rules. I'm on phone so I won't quote, but it's something like think of it as an eye in the wrong. NTA. From your description, this couple is in some kind of toxic and potentially volatile codependency situation. However, you should tread very lightly, as anything even the slightest bit critical you say to a lazy narcissist will not register in a conductive manner. You might want to apologize for overstepping your bounds if that's viable. The boyfriend needs to look at the big picture and speak up. He's being abused. No one should suffer in silence. He might want to pursue counseling. Or, just, break up with his girlfriend and work less. Right, this is dependency, not codependency. He's clearly getting some need of his to sacrifice and be a martyr met. That's what makes it codependency. You say that, but it's not clear to me that is the case. Op's friend isn't basking in the glow of the martyr, celebrating his sacrifices for his GF's career goals. Someone who is codependent and seeks to be a martyr would typically enjoy the climb up onto the cross a little bit more. He's breaking down in front of Op, weeping because he's at the end of his rope. Just because someone is being taken advantage of, doesn't immediately mean they want to be a martyr. This is a man in relationship that is toxic but with someone he appears to actually care about it. Unless this dynamic repeats itself in his relationships, you don't have a good reason to suggest that he is at all codependent on his GF. I very much agree with you. I'm not the dude who labeled the relationship as codependent. Someone commented that's not codependent. That's plain old dependent. Which was a dumb comment I wanted to correct. Is this guy's relationship codependent? Not enough information. Are the behaviors characteristic of codependency? Yes, but the nuance you mentioned is extremely valid. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.